we had been talking about, the human brain, human behavior. It works the same way. There's sort of a single way in which it works and how our instincts work and our behaviors work, but there are many different lenses to look at that through, many different frameworks to help us understand it. And I have found, I've heard 5 different ways of describing how to control human behavior, and one of them works really well for me. So I thought we'd share several in this episode in the hopes that one of them or a part of one of them will really resonate well with people who are listening. So for me, the framework that has always just, maybe it's because I imprinted on it first, is from the book Switch. I think it's called like Changing Behavior Change When Change is Hard or something. And it talks about the elephant, the rider, and the path. The elephant is your emotional brain. They're the ones who want to eat Doritos. The rider is your logical brain on top of the elephant, saying, no, don't eat Doritos, eat this kale. And the path is the path that the elephant should be going. The rider wants to go that way, but it's full of boulders. And so how do you clear that path of boulders? Well, you don't bring Doritos into the house. You do bring kale into the house. Maybe you like prep the kale on Sundays so it's easy to just eat throughout the week. That's the framework that really worked for me in terms of understanding how to best manage your life to maximize the chances you're going to do the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you do if your children are boulders? Do you just get rid of them?
You just suffer knowing they're going to college eventually.
Like, oh man, snickerdoodles again? What? Come on.
Yeah. No, I will say the food is a hard one when there are children in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but to your point, that's Dan and Chip Heath, I think, wrote that book, Switch. And then a book was written by James Clear called Atomic Habits, which has some similar ideas in it. Atomic Habits really being that if you make these little tiny changes in your life and you make them habits, it will lead to very large changes in your life.
Is that why it's called Atomic Habits? I've never read it, so I was always sort of mildly interested by the title. Okay.
But so like Atomic Habits has a lot of similar ideas in it. One of which is if you don't want to be doing something in your life, try to remove those things or make it harder. So like maybe you don't get rid of a television in your house, but you put the remote control in a desk drawer and take the batteries out of the television remote, right? So that now you have to do like 2 things to really be going to turn it on. So now you really have to be like thinking about the fact that you really want to watch TV when you're trying not to. Yeah. So it kind of helps you break a loop that you otherwise is a really easy loop for you to have.
Oh yeah. So you're conscious of it. And also you're putting
it's to bring the subconscious conscious. Exactly.
Yeah. And you're putting a boulder in the path to sort of bring
to your point, you're adding a boulder there. Or the other side is like, if you want to get up and go run in the morning, have your clothes and everything ready to go. So you can just drop out of bed and go run in the morning.
Okay. This, by the way, is a large reason why I don't like Amazon, because Amazon removes all the boulders between you and mindless spending.
Yes. Well, to your point. So there's actually a really lovely book written by Michael Easter called Scarcity Brain that speaks to this exact issue in society at large, whether that's doom scrolling on social media or buying things that you don't need to buy, all of those things. It's kind of like a lot of tech companies have figured out that scarcity loops and people buying things and doing things that are easy for them and removing the boulder makes it very easy for people to increase spend. So there's definitely things that you can do about that. Like, for instance, there's actually a great app that I use for social media called Clear that I pay for. And what Clear does is I set a limit on social media for myself.
Okay.
So like I can't go in more than twice a day for a max of 10 minutes at a time. It kicks me out. So I can't tell you how many times I've been kicked out of Instagram. It's so easy to scroll on that sucker.
Yeah.
Right. You want to do it forever. But the point is that there are ways to add boulders if you want to have them or remove them.